Hey, what's going on, my friends? In this video, we are going to talk about starting your own sole proprietorship business. If you want to have your own business, but you don't necessarily want to form an LLC or a partnership or an S Corp or whatever, this might be what you should consider doing. You can have a job, have your full-time job, and at the same time, you can be a sole proprietor, or you can jump into being a sole proprietor full-time. The beauty of it is that this is such a simple structure when it comes to the different options forming a business. We are here on the SBA's website, Small Business Administration. So this is official. If we're talking about businesses and especially grants and loans and things like that, but forming businesses, the Small Business Administration website is going to have some answers for you. So when we look at sole proprietorship, it says a sole proprietorship is the simplest and most common structure chosen to start a business. It is an unincorporated business owned and run by one individual with no distinction between the business and the owner. You are entitled to all profits and are responsible for all your business's debts, losses, and liabilities. So it's letting you know off the jump, hey, it's a beautiful thing when you are a sole proprietorship, but at the same time, you're also responsible for the things you wouldn't want to be responsible for, unfortunately. So you might actually be interested in forming a sole proprietorship. Well, no formal action is required to form a sole proprietorship. If you are the only owner, this status automatically comes from your business activities. In fact, you may already own one without knowing it. If you are a freelance graphic designer, for example, well, you are a sole proprietor. But like all businesses, you need to obtain the necessary licenses and permits. Regulations vary by industry, state, and locality. Refer to this business license and permits guide to find what you'll need to run a business. So I will have a link to this article, this page down below in the description area for you guys to check out if you want to. And if you choose to operate under a name different than your own, you will most likely have to file a fictitious name, also known as assumed name, trade name, or DBA name, short for doing business. As you guys have probably heard me speak about DBA names, I have a DBA name for one of my brands. I have a few actually now, but this was what I first started off with when it was time to kind of take things to the next level without taking a huge leap and actually doing an LLC, which I do have now. But at the time, I didn't jump right into it. I decided to do a sole proprietorship first. And like it does mention, a lot of you guys out there probably are already sole proprietors. And essentially, if you are already part of the gig economy, if you're already doing work for people as an independent contractor and not as a employee, well, you are basically a sole proprietor. I don't think there's actually any technical difference between an independent contractor, a freelancer, and a sole proprietor. I think they're literally all just terms that, no, let me take a step back. And maybe I'll make a video on this. This is actually, now that I'm saying it, we'll do that. I'll make a video talking about the differences, I think, to help with explaining and driving a little clarification around what they are. But essentially, to dumb it down, they're all kind of under or part of the sole proprietor kind of definition or meaning. They're all essentially the same thing. So when it comes to the sole proprietor taxes, because you and your business are one and the same, the business itself is not taxed separately. The sole proprietorship income is your income. Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering, wait, I don't get it. What does that mean? It's literally what it's saying. You are the same thing as your business. The sole proprietorship income, your business income, is your income. It's your personal income. So it's all under the same umbrella. It's the same form, basically. Yeah, no differences there. So the advantages of a sole proprietorship. It's easy and inexpensive to form. A sole proprietorship is the simplest and least expensive business structure to establish. Complete control. Because you are the sole owner of the business, you have complete control over all decisions. And simplified tax preparation. Your business is not taxed separately, so it's easy to fulfill the tax reporting requirements. Now, the disadvantages, which we need to talk about, are simple. Not simple, but there's a few. So there's a few that you guys can see. Unlimited personal liability, because there is no legal separation between you and your business. You can be held personally liable for the debts and obligations of the business. This risk extends to any liabilities incurred because of employee actions. So if you're maybe, I don't know, a hairstylist and you happen to burn someone, or you're a painter and you're painting something in their house and in the process you bump into antique glassware or something that breaks. Well, being that it's your business that you're doing that's doing it, but it's your business and you are a sole proprietor, well, you will be responsible for it. Of course, there are ways to still cover your butt to some extent. I actually have a ton of different videos that I've made on various insurances for those of you who are sole proprietors, self-employed individuals, small business owners as well. There are insurance options and solutions that are made available to support us sole proprietors, us self-employed individuals, that a lot of people don't know about. So yes, you are still kind of personally liable for your business and yourself, like it's all the same, but there are things you can do to help still protect yourself a little bit or soften the fall. Put a few cushions beneath your butt in the ground so when you do fall, it won't hurt as much. It's hard to raise money. Sole proprietors often face challenges when trying to raise money because you can't sell stock in the business. Investors won't often invest. Banks are also hesitant to lend a sole proprietorship money because of a perceived lack of credibility when it comes to repayment if the business fails. Now, I think I can throw, I don't know if I'll say elaborate on and throw my 2 cents in there a little bit, but I think it really will come down to your credit being good. If you have good personal credit, then I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue. However, it still is something that you want to consider. If you actually have a business and you build up your business credit and you have good personal credit, that's going to be much easier for you to get money for your LLC or your S Corp, whatever it might be. But as they're suggesting, it's hard to get investors involved, and it's harder to raise money as a sole proprietorship, as a freelancer, as an independent contractor, instead of an actual LLC or S Corp or partnership or whatever. And then lastly, heavy burden. The flip side of complete control is the burden and pressure it can impose. You alone are ultimately responsible for the successes and the failures of your business. You are the business. It's your business, and everything comes down to you. If it fails, that's on you. If it succeeds, that's on you. Some people don't like that. Some people do. I personally am someone that I can work with other people as a team, but I also enjoy working, doing my own thing, or kind of running the show, so to speak, or kind of dictating or having some sort of say and major influence as to what's happening next. And kind of makes me think about my past with sports. And again, maybe this is a video for another day. I played a lot of different sports, and I enjoyed playing team sports, but I also enjoyed kind of more independent sports like track and field, where I would compete as a team, and I would do things like the 4x4 and the 4x100 relay, where you're working with other people, and of course you got your whole team as a whole, and I was a captain for our team and stuff. So yeah, I cared about the success of the team. I ran the mile once because the team needed it. I was not happy about it, but I did it because the team needed it. At the same time, I love track because it is an independent sport, an individual sport where you run your own race. And if I don't outrun the guy next to me and he runs faster, he wanted it more. He was just faster that day. It is what it is. I can't blame anyone else. It's on me. But if I outrun him, well, who won? I won, and I won it because I wanted it more. I deserved it, and I worked harder, and I'm gonna reap the rewards. But at the same time, if I lose, I'm the one who lost. So it just reminds me of kind of the sole proprietorship thing and being your own boss and being your own business. And if things go well, it's good, but if they don't go well, it's not so good. And like I said a moment ago, it all comes down to you. So as this article, as we've touched on, there really isn't too much that you have to do to actually form a sole proprietorship. Now, I'm going to add in kind of my own, I guess you can say, thoughts. Now, this article is obviously from the SBA's website, so they clearly know a thing or two and have some good suggestions and pointers that are going to help you with getting the ball rolling. That said, there are still things that you can do to help you with better positioning your sole proprietorship business so that when it is time to grow and take things to the next level, you're going to be ready to do that. And if you don't want to, that's fine as well. You will still be better positioned to succeed with your sole proprietorship business. I would suggest along with the key points that we touched on in this video, what I did, for example, one of the things I did early on, or maybe not as early as I could, but I did, was get a DBA. I registered with the city of Boston, my Adam Helper brand. Obviously, I own all of the websites and I'm on social media. So I got that name down and my presence is known with it. But to just kind of take things to the next level and at least registering my business with the city and having my name in the mix in the system to some degree or another, I got a DBA. And that helps you with just, again, kind of solidifying or visualizing yourself a bit more than other people that are just independent contractors that don't have any kind of business name or any kind of trade name that they're working under, which is completely fine as well. But I think it does help you kind of just look a little more official. The other thing that I would suggest is opening up a business bank account. Now, in order to do that, you will need an EIN. You also should probably consider getting your DUNS number as well. So I would suggest getting your DUNS number, your EIN, and then with the two of those, you'll be able to get a business bank account, of course. And having a business bank account will help you with keeping your business and your personal money completely separate. And again, getting you thinking like an actual business, preparing you to work and act and do things like an actual business. I wish I did these things sooner than what I did, which is fine, again, because it's allowing me, I still was able to be positioned where I could benefit from having these separate accounts, and I could start to separate my personal and my business, my sole proprietorship, money and income and earnings and whatnot, and budgeting and money management and all of these components of your finances and running a business and your personal income and whatnot. And it's all like meshed together, it's all blended together, but you do need to get a grip of it. And if you can't do this now as a sole proprietor, you're not going to be able to do it when it comes time to have a business. That said, you might not have to. You might be able to just work with an accountant, someone that can take care of this stuff for you. So that's fine. It's not like it's the end of it all. However, I still think it's important for everyone to have kind of the basics and the fundamental principles down of money management and budgeting. And I think this is where you really can start to get that ball in motion before you form an LLC. A lot of people over the past year, because of these grants and loans, people are like, oh, I got to start a business now. I got to start a business. I want some of this money. First of all, you starting a business now, you're not going to be qualified for these programs because you would have had your business started like a year ago to get some of this money. But after that, okay, you got your business, now what? What are you gonna do? You gotta make sales. You gotta make some money. Actually, I got a brand new website that will be coming in the very near future for those of you guys who are looking for ways to increase your awareness and drive sales. Look out for MASH, baby. MASH. Now it won't be mash.com, but MASH is what we're going to be calling it because it's marketing and saleshelp.com. And on that tip, on that note, since we're talking about other websites and other brands and whatnot, you guys got to make sure you check out the Make, Manage, Grow Money YouTube channel and website for other financial literacy content, other tips and tricks to help you with better positioning yourself so you, again, will be prepared to start a business. As we look down here at the disadvantages when it comes to liability, well, having insurance will help you with protecting yourself. And on that Make, Manage, Grow Money, we've done tons of different insurance videos because they got rideshare insurance, we got drone insurance, there's tons of different kinds of insurances that are available for you, whether you are a consultant, a mover, whatever. There's something out there that you should consider looking into for your sole proprietorship business. I think that's kind of a good point, a good way to leave this video. We touched on getting your DUNS number. We touched on getting your EIN. We touched on getting your DBA. All those things will help you with getting a business bank account. The goal is to help you with kind of managing your money, start to get things separated. And you don't need to do this because you might not never want to go the LLC, a partnership, or incorporated route. You might want to continue to be a sole proprietorship, and that's completely fine as well. That said, as we touched on with some of these disadvantages, if you decide, hey, you want to get some money, it's going to be a little more difficult, and it will probably be more contingent and dependent on your personal credit, which I'm sure you guys won't want to always do. At some point, you should want to, you're not going to always want to, use your own credit when you can leverage a business credit. That's essentially it's the same thing. And as long as you just take care of your business credit, you'll be fine, where you can build that up, start to get access to more money. And that's what it's all about. That's what I'm continuing to learn myself. I think just that ability to leverage and use other people's money to allow you to get what you want and also grow your money. We making moves over here, and I'm trying to just share the things that I've learned and continue to learn with you guys so that we can all move forward and grow together. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys found this video helpful. One of you just recently asked about how do I form a sole proprietorship? Well, this video hopefully answered your question. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to comment down below. Let me know, what do you think? Do you have a sole proprietorship business? Well, if you're an independent contractor, if you're someone who applied for the PPP or the EIDL, you do. Or you have an actual business, an actual incorporated business. Either way, so many people, like I said, don't realize you already have a sole proprietorship business. If you're part of the gig economy, if you're doing your own thing, you have a sole proprietorship business, basically. Now, there are a few things that I just touched on that you can do to help you be more official, but as we just learned, there's no formal action that's required when it comes to forming a sole proprietorship. And on that note, I gotta go eat. My food is calling me, and or maybe that's my stomach. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know, what do you think about forming a sole proprietorship? Have you already started your business? Are you thinking about starting a little side hustle, starting your own sole proprietorship business? Let me know. Comment down below. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Like this video if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of our upcoming new videos. Of course, I appreciate you guys spending some time with me watching this video and our content. Yeah, you already know now. I got to keep it moving. But I'll see you in the next video. Peace.